I left my husband, my kids, and all of the comforts of home to chase my dreams halfway around the world. And what happened next changed my life forever.
What brings you here to the Czech Republic?
For the last 3 years, I have been pouring my heart and soul into my baby brand, Ari Blake, motivated by 2 scary incidents with each of my babies using other baby carriers, my daughter accidentally disengaging a buckle, and my son breaking out in a skin rash from a toxic fabric dye. I wanted to create something better, safer, intentional, purposeful. And so, my journey of creating the world's best baby carrier began. I sketched every little design detail by hand, sourced the highest quality premium fabrics and components I could find, started prototyping and going through the stringent testing protocols that all baby products must undergo, and finally launched what would be the first version of the Ari Blake Superhuman Baby and Toddler Carrier in June 2025. But then, I realized something I could only come to understand after putting my 3rd child, so to speak, out into the universe for everyone to see. My baby carrier, the thing I worked so hard on to bring to life for the last 3 years of my life, was not enough. You see, after spending hours talking to our first customers over email, phone calls, and in the DMs of our socials, I realized parents really loved our baby carriers, but they weren't obsessed with them. They loved that they are made out of 100% organic linen that was free of toxic dyes and chemicals. They love the stunning diamond stitch quilting. They love the extra safety and security features. And they especially loved how comfortable they felt when baby wearing. But all of this was not enough to be completely and utterly obsessed with the product because, well, to put it simply, parents in today's modern, fast-paced world want more out of the baby products they use on a daily basis. And I realized that the baby carrier hasn't evolved with the times in so many years. It's basic, it's practical, but it's not revolutionary. They were right. I needed to do more to help parents feel supported in today's modern world. To create something extraordinary, and dare I say it, revolutionary, for the conscious parents who understand the importance of baby wearing for the first 3 critical developmental years of a child's life. I wanted to create a culture of parents who are obsessed with baby wearing because of how much easier it is to navigate parenthood with Ari Blake. I wanted parents to feel empowered and confident when baby wearing their child. So I went back to the drawing board and started iterating. I took all of the feedback I got from my customers and turned it into my fuel for taking my basic design and taking it to the next level. I thought about all of the features and elements I would want for myself in my dream baby carrier, and I poured it all onto paper. Scratch that. Construction paper. This was my first draft on my kids' construction paper because I got hit with an inspiration bomb in the middle of our free play together. But as soon as I was able to translate my slightly delusional design concepts onto proper sketch paper, my sketches became vector drawings. My vector drawings became AI-generated digital prototypes that took several hundred prompts and hours of additional Photoshop editing to get right before finally those AI-generated Photoshop-edited prototypes became my vision board for taking Ari Blake to the next level. I designed something that would literally change the way parents baby wear and how our culture will adopt this centuries-old ritual in the modern world. But then I came to a crossroads. I realized that in order to make this very extravagant, very outlandish, and very delusional dream of mine a reality, I would have to leave my family and my home behind and fly to the place where Ari Blake was born, the Czech Republic. And so my journey began. I booked my flight, I packed my bags, I thanked my incredible supportive partner for holding down the fort with 2 little ones at home so that I can chase my dreams halfway across the world, drove to the airport, got on a plane, and landed in Prague. To say that my body and mind was filled with overwhelming mom guilt and complete and utter fear would be an understatement. All of these thoughts of what-if scenarios flooded my mind like a river rapid. But based on my previous experiences in life and in business, I know that these all-consuming thoughts and feelings are a sign to go after my dreams even more, because fear is just an illusion. Fear is not a real feeling. It is a label we give something when we do not know the outcome of an event that hasn't even happened yet. And on the other side of fear, it could be disappointment, it could be failure, it could even be a huge mistake, but it can also be the beginning of making your dreams come true. So I decided to take a chance and follow my heart and trust my intuition. My intuition has been my guide and my compass my entire life, but sadly, I only really started listening to it and trusting it much later in life. Based on some recent experiences, I learned that my intuition is right 95% of the time. About people, about decisions, about pretty much anything in life. If you ask me, those are pretty damn good odds. And sometimes you have to bet on yourself, place all your chips on the table and commit to taking a chance. But still, there's always that 5% chance that all of this is for nothing. Or is it? If we learn to accept that making mistakes or learning from failure is actually an opportunity to learn and grow, then, well, either way, you are winning. One phrase I have always lived by my whole life is, the greatest risk in life is not taking one. This simple reminder was all I needed to make my decision a lot easier. And let me tell you this, it was one of the best decisions I made in my life. Arriving in Prague for the first time, I was greeted with this gorgeous double rainbow. Call it coincidence or fate, but I took it as a sign that I was on the right path. Ari Blake is named after my rainbow baby, my beautiful baby girl that made me a mama for the first time. And seeing this double rainbow made me feel like she was right there with me, holding my hand and reassuring me that I made the right decision. My babies are my reason for building this legacy for them. And because I am so focused on my mission with this brand, I never even considered a plan B. Plan A is the only plan. And if anyone can create the world's best baby carrier and revolutionize the way parents navigate parenthood, I know I am the one to do it. You see, since I was a little girl, I've always loved to create. I used to design and make my own clothes from my grandmother's old pillowcases and sew them together by hand. I used to make jewelry out of old buttons and beads my parents collected inside of an old rusty metal cookie box that they used as a storage box for random bits and bobs. And as I grew older, I dipped my toes into entrepreneurship and sold handmade bracelets for charity, which eventually turned into a much more sophisticated operation that I managed out of my tiny little apartment in Toronto until I finally made some profit. Later, I launched an international hair extensions company, which may seem completely off track, but I learned so much about international business and sourcing premium quality materials from all over the world from that experience. I have always had a deep appreciation and passion for design and quality craftsmanship. For me, I really do sweat the small stuff. Every little detail for me matters. And now all of the skills I have accumulated over my life and all of the lessons I learned from the mistakes and failures I've had have prepared me for this. Ari Blake is so much more to me than a brand. It is my life's work. And because it is so deeply rooted in my motherhood journey and my love for fashion, it truly does feel like my third child. If I don't believe in myself and in my mission, no one else will. Being an entrepreneur can be a very scary and lonely journey because you go about most of your life feeling misunderstood by society and most people who have regular 9-to-5 jobs. You don't know if you're going to have an amazing month or a total shit month. I've never had any kind of predictability in my life, nor do I want to be honest. Because for me, one of the greatest pleasures in life is doing what makes my heart happy. Working on Ari Blake lights the fire within me like nothing else I've ever worked on before. Even the challenges and struggles are worth it in the grand scheme of things because of how much this project means to me. Entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. You need to have the mental resilience of a champion and the emotional intelligence of a monk, a spiritual gangster, as I like to call it. As challenging as it is to be working every day without days off or maternity leave, it comes with a lot of freedom and privilege. I got to keep both of my babies at home with me until the ages of 4 and 3. I am able to work when my babies sleep and spend more quality time with them throughout the day when they are awake. I get to travel and work remotely. I get to plan my own time off as long as I put proper systems in place. It is a lifestyle most people don't understand. But I've come to realize that I don't owe anyone any explanations for chasing my dreams. For the first time in my life, I can confidently say that I am following my heart. And I want the same for you, all of you. Because at the end of the day, we only have this one life to live. The fact that the Western world has brainwashed us to celebrate hustle culture and the act of constantly doing is so sad. Yes, I am ambitious. I am focused on my goals, but I also prioritize time to slow down and be present with the people I love the most, just as much as I prioritize my life's work. The two go hand in hand. So fuck all the naysayers, the ones who don't understand, the ones who don't support you. This is your life. Protect your peace, create boundaries. Align yourself with the people and things that bring you closer to your greatest potential. I promise you, it will set you free, just like it did for me. This is just the beginning of your becoming.
Oh my God.